So we're back with our second practice round with our blades. And last time, well, it was great, but now I'm really nervous. What if I can't hit them again? What if I start thinning it? What if... But today's video is less about how great these clubs feel when you flush them. It's more about an honest assessment. Can I use these clubs week in, week out, and try and shoot good scores with them? You'll also be pleased to see after the last video that my putter is still red hot. In the last video, I just went out with the irons and I probably got into a really good rhythm of just hitting one iron after another. This time though, once I'd switched back to my driver, I suddenly found that I was struggling a little bit, having to move from hitting down to sweeping it off the tee. This was actually my second drive. The first drive was a snap hook left into the trees. And this was my first concern. With my old irons, there didn't seem to be too much transition between woods and irons. I could pretty much put the same swing on it. But with these clubs, I feel like I'm going to need two different swings to make them work.
That was a bad swing.
There's no doubt about it though. My chipping and pitching around the greens is definitely a lot better with these blades.
I'll take that.
One of the big advantages I've seen when playing traditionally lofted clubs is the gaps between each club in terms of yardages is so much tighter. So I'm sure it's going to make it easier in terms of dialing in those shots to the green. I just haven't quite worked out what those yardages are yet. But when I do, it'll be great. And I'm now convinced that the dispersion left and right on these clubs is so much tighter. And for the purpose of this video, if we can all agree, let's just not mention the putting going forward. So now let's talk about the 2-iron. This one is not going in the bag. When you're swinging well, they seem like the answer to all your problems. But when you're not, they're an absolute stroke killer. You can tell the first shot was bad because the shot tracer wouldn't even pick it up. And on the second one, I tried to really compress it like an iron, and it just squirted out low and didn't go that far. The blades, though, continued to perform well, and I was also really impressed how well they cut through the rough, which can be more difficult, I find, when you've got bigger clubs. At this point, I am starting to try and tweak my swing in an effort to try and get a little bit more distance out of each of these irons. Here I'm trying to focus on not swaying back, which is a big fault of mine and a classic power killer in the swing. And the result was I struck this 6-iron really pure. I think this is positive. I mean, after all, golf is surely about improving your mechanical skills and getting better. But I need to be able to make the transition from swing golf to scoring golf. And I guess the big question is, how long is that going to take? How long will it take for these irons to feel normal and comfortable, and I can just focus on hitting targets and not the swing? So in summary, I think these irons have really helped highlight some areas where I can improve my ball striking. But also, if I'm going to go through this period of change, then there might need to be a bit more experimenting, maybe trying some other things out. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.